김치가 오늘날 세계에서 거두는 성과는 놀랍습니다. 2008년 미국 건강 전문지에서 세계 5대 건강식품 중 하나로 선정된 김치는 건강할진 모르지만 냄새는 역겹다, 이해하기 어려운 맛이다라는 이야기를 들었습니다. 그런데 2023년 미국 6개 주에서 11월 22일을 김치의 날로 제정할 만큼 미국 깊숙이 스며든 음식이자 문화가 됐습니다. 맵고 짠 데다 특유의 냄새까지 갖춘 개성 강한 김치는 어떻게 세계를 사로잡았을까요? 최근 한류의 풍이 불면서 비빔밥, 고추장 등과 함께 김치는 칼로리가 낮은 건강식품으로 주목받고 있습니다. 냄새 많은 적응이 안 된다던 김치가 미국인들 냉장고에 한 병씩 들어가 있는가 하면 질겅질겅한 식감만은 이해가 안 된다던 떡볶이가 미국인의 소울푸드로 자리 잡고 있죠. 미국 MBC는 한국의 길거리 음식 떡볶이가 미국 내에서 큰 인기를 끌고 있다며 보도했습니다. 외국인들은 어쩌면 한식을 맛보다 더 깊은 소울로 먹고 있는지도 모르겠습니다. 음식의 근본은 사랑이며 훌륭한 요리사는 마음으로 요리합니다라는 신념을 가진 덴마크계 미국인 스타 셰프 라세 소렌스는 미국 세인루이스에서 자신의 레스토랑을 운영하면서 요리쇼에서 인기를 얻은 방송인인데요. 그는 그의 이름을 건 방송을 통해 음식으로 문화의 다양성과 사랑을 표현합니다. 그는 최근 미국에서 한국식 치킨과 김치로 성공한 김치가이즈의 오너 셰프 서문석을 만나 우연히 그의 집에 방문해 집밥을 먹게 되는데요. 그가 먹은 건 단순한 집밥이 아니라 한국 문화와 한국의 정을 느끼는 시간이었습니다.
As a chef, I need to stay curious in order to evolve. For me, that means looking beyond a great meal to learn more about who made it and what inspires them to cook. Every great city has great food. I'm going on a journey around the world right here in St. Louis to find good food and experience other cultures. I'm on a quest to find passionate chefs who cooks from the heart.
So if we go way back when you first started Drunken Fish, I mean, did you go to cooking school or where did you get your inspiration from?
Interest in food for me, even since I was a little kid, I mean, I was always watching cooking shows and like Julia Childs. I mean, I was very interested in food. Growing up in a household where my mom was cooking all the time. I mean, she was cooking 3 meals a day. It's always a Korean meal. Developing a palate throughout the years for unique cuisines and always trying out different places. But I definitely wasn't culinarily trained. But I knew what tasted good.
So a lot of times if you're classically trained, you have boundaries that you think you can't pass. So I've met great chefs over the years that, you know, have taught themselves. And you know, that's great because you can think outside the box.
Right.
To get a better understanding of Korean culture and ultimately what motivates the menu at places like Kimchi Guys, Munsuk has invited me to meet his teacher and culinary muse, his mother. So Munsuk, I know the custom is to bring a gift the first time you come to somebody's house. So one of my servers in my restaurant, his name is David, he's Korean.
Oh, nice.
His mom made this, and it is ginseng root, and I guess it's more for medicinal purposes, but I wanted to make sure you know, that it's okay to give alcohol.
You know what, my dad loves to drink, and he's going to appreciate that very much.
Okay, great.
Well, just to give you a little background on my parents, I mean, they're just very, you know, simple. They're just hardworking people, you know.
What prompted them to come over here?
I think two things. You know, one, I think, you know, my older sister has muscular dystrophy. But at the time in Korea, they didn't know what she had. There's a lot more opportunities in America, better medical facilities. It's always that kind of perception, you know. They decided that they're going to take a chance and move everybody over. And I remember as a young kid, we lived in the kind of a shady area of St. Louis, and they would have to leave us at the house by ourselves. But it was really tough on them both having to work, and there was no choice. You didn't have a choice. I remember that as a young kid, they would always call, and I mean, I just always heard my mom crying over the phone, you know. My mom always asked me why I continue to keep, you know, growing, and it's the progress that I enjoy, the journey that I enjoy. But at the end of the day, you know, you're making something that puts a smile on somebody's face.
Yeah. So your mom is ready for us?
I hope so.
Yeah. Do we have to take the shoes off?
No, just come on in.
Hello.
It's my dad.
Nice meeting you.
My mom.
Nice meeting you.
My niece.
Nice meeting you. We have a bottle for you
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
with ginseng in it.
Ginseng, yeah.
Ginseng,
Yes.
yeah.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you.
My parents have been living here in Maryland Heights for many, many years, and
So we understand you taught him how to cook. And you
Yeah.
have a garden in the back. We would love to see your
yeah,
garden.
they're always growing something. Yeah, everything back here is edible. And cucumber over here,
Okay.
green onion here. 이건 다 무. And then you can see this is radish.
Radish, okay.
Sesame seed, like sesame leaves.
It's all here. Garlic, onions, cucumber, radishes, lettuces. An expansive garden tucked into the backyard of an unassuming suburban home.
This is actually Korean garlic because he actually got the garlic from Korea.
Okay.
And then he planted them, you know. So you've been kind of saving a few every
Yeah.
year, and then we'll plant those. And this is the gochujang and doenjang, and they're fermenting that right now. So this is house-made Korean miso. My mom will actually take the beans, grind it down, and start making this. She makes her own gochujang.
After harvesting a few things from the garden, it's off to the family kitchen to prepare a traditional Korean meal. This is a process Munsuk's mother has repeated here in the kitchen day after day, year after year, for most of her life. Watching her turn things from the garden out back into a full meal, you get the impression that she takes cooking for her family very seriously.
Don't ask her about recipes because she doesn't have any recipes for anything. She does it by taste and feel. I said, when did you start learning how to cook? And she said, when I got married.
Yeah.
Several things that are very, very common is you're going to see a lot of side dishes called banchan. You're also going to see usually a meat dish as an entree that's being shared by everybody that's at the table, and a soup, you know. And you're always going to see a kimchi at the table. That's the one thing that's probably 100% given. My mom's been an inspiration for sure. She's been a really, really good home cook, you know, and she's always cooking Korean food, you know? Yeah, which I always crave.
Yeah.
So this is a typical side dish called 콩나물. It's just a steamed bean sprouts mixed with very, you know, traditional Korean seasonings. But these are the 콩나물 and doraji is the two most common vegetables. Yeah. And you see my dad's out there and every day like just tending the garden, and you know, and he takes pride in, you know, eating fresh out of the backyard, you know.
The smell of simmering miso and fresh vegetables is unbelievable.
And yeah, you just grab a little bit of the banchan. These are the
Okay.
side plates.
Okay.
And fish. This is the doraji. This is the garlic shoots that came from the backyard. This is
All vegetable.
all a lot of vegetables.
Okay.
Okay, this is the kind of pickled radish.
Okay.
The care his mother took to prepare a meal from the garden that they planted and tended to themselves was a good reminder of what cooking is really all about for me. The opportunity to slow down and spend time with those that are most important to you.
This is really good.
Oh yeah, that's the doraji. You'll have the same meals 3 times a day. They'll make a different meat dish, different soup dish. Soup becomes a part of the meal. I think in American culture, you serve it first.
Yes.
Munsuk's family was gracious. Growing up with 3 meals a day like this, it's no wonder Munsuk developed his appreciation for food.
I've been a chef all my life. I'm 52 years old, and it's the first time I've had that. It's absolutely delicious.
Well, it's exciting that I'm sharing your first Korean meal, you know, in my mom's home.
You know, it's part of your journey, and that's why it's so interesting. Is like this is what inspired you to do what you do today. This is where it all comes from.
It does come from here.
It's your mother's fault.
Good meal, good conversation, and newfound friends has me feeling grateful and ready to get back to the kitchen with some of the things I've seen here.
이상 꿀튜브였습니다. 이번 영상이 도움되셨다면 구독, 좋아요 눌러주세요. 앞으로도 꿀튜브 채널에 많은 관심 부탁드립니다. 감사합니다.